Imagine waking up to the sound of sirens, the sky glowing red with explosions, and the air filled with the constant buzz of deadly drones. Imagine stepping outside your home only to see fire consuming entire streets, towers collapsing into ash, and civilians running for their lives with nowhere to hide. This is not a movie scene or a distant nightmare. This is the terrifying reality unfolding right now in Ukraine and Russia. A new era of war has arrived, a war where machines dominate the skies, cities burn in silence, and the price is paid by innocent men, women, and children. Today we uncover the shocking story of how deadly drone attacks are turning living cities into firestorms and rewriting the future of modern warfare forever. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Global Times USA. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today, we are bringing you one of the most shocking breaking news updates from the ongoing Russia and Ukraine conflict. The story unfolding now is centered around what has been described as an unprecedented escalation, where both Ukraine and Russia are trading deadly drone attacks at a level not seen before. Cities are under fire, civilian areas are being targeted, and the world is watching in alarm as both nations unleash waves of aerial strikes that are reshaping modern warfare. This war is no longer about conventional tanks and missiles alone, but it has entered an age where drones dominate the battlefield, changing how battles are fought and how entire cities are defended or destroyed. In this video, we are going to look at the exterior situation of the strikes, the interior impacts on infrastructure and people, the performance of the drones being used, their safety features, their unique selling points, the estimated cost of these attacks, and finally a conclusion on what this means for the conflict moving forward. From the exterior, the situation in both Ukraine and Russia has shifted dramatically over the last week. Reports from multiple sources confirm that Ukrainian drones have managed to penetrate deep into Russian territory, targeting key infrastructure and even striking major cities that were previously considered safe from direct attacks. Moscow itself has experienced waves of drones overhead, setting off air raid sirens and forcing residents into shelters. On the other side, Russia has responded with equal intensity, launching hundreds of its own Shahd drones, many of which are supplied or co-developed with Iranian technology. These drones are directed toward Ukrainian energy grids, rail networks, and civilian neighborhoods. The skies above both nations are now buzzing with constant drone activity, and air defense systems are working around the clock, trying to shoot down incoming threats before they reach their targets. The exterior impression of this situation is chaos, fire, and destruction. Buildings engulfed in flames, massive explosions lighting up the night sky, and streets filled with debris as civilians run for cover. Moving to the interior, the impacts on daily life are severe, and in many cases heartbreaking. Ukrainian cities that have already suffered months of bombardment are once again plunged into darkness as drone strikes knock out power grids and destroy substations. Entire neighborhoods sit without electricity or water, with families huddled in basements relying on generators if they are lucky enough to have them. Schools and hospitals are not spared either, with many facilities forced to evacuate patients as emergency services scramble to restore vital functions. In Russia, the interior reality is also changing. Moscow residents who once felt distant from the front lines are now realizing that the war has come to their doorstep. Explosions in high-rise areas, fires spreading through industrial districts, and civilians posting videos of drones flying low above their apartment windows have all created a sense of panic. Both countries are dealing with the psychological toll of living under constant aerial threat, and this interior experience is perhaps even more devastating than the physical destruction itself. People wake up each day not knowing if the next drone will strike their building, their street, or their children's school. It is a war that has invaded the personal lives of millions, turning homes into targets and daily routines into survival strategies. When we examine the performance of the drones themselves, we can see why they have become the centerpiece of this conflict. Ukrainian drones have shown remarkable adaptability and long-range capability. Many of them are smaller, low-cost models that can fly undetected at low altitudes, slipping past radar defenses and striking high-altitude targets hundreds of kilometers away. Some are custom-built, others are modified commercial drones turned into weapons of war, but their effectiveness lies in numbers. Ukraine often deploys dozens at once, overwhelming Russian air defenses and ensuring that at least some of them break through. On the Russian side, performance is tied to scale and endurance. The Shad drones, often described as kamikaze drones, are slower, but they can carry larger warheads and travel long distances, making them useful for striking Ukrainian infrastructure far from the front lines. Russia launches them in swarms of dozens or even hundreds, hoping to exhaust Ukrainian air defense systems and force them to use up valuable missiles on relatively cheap drones. Performance metrics such as speed, altitude, payload, and precision have made these drones powerful tools in the modern battlefield, redefining how nations conduct warfare. Safety features are often overlooked when discussing drones in warfare, but they are worth examining. Unlike manned aircraft, drones do not put pilots at risk, which is one of their key safety advantages from a military perspective. For the operators sitting miles away, controlling drones through satellite links or remote systems, the risks are minimal. However, for civilians on the ground, safety features are practically non-existent. Drones used in this conflict are designed to crash and explode upon impact, meaning they are inherently unsafe for anyone in their path. Some advanced Ukrainian drones are reportedly equipped with fail-safes that allow them to self-destruct midair if they lose control, preventing unintended crashes into random areas. Russian drones, by contrast, are mostly disposable and lack such safeguards. Their guidance systems sometimes malfunction, leading to crashes in unintended civilian areas. The lack of safety for civilians is one of the most tragic elements of drone warfare, as these machines bring firepower into urban landscapes without the precision or accountability of manned missions. Unique selling points of these drones have become clear in this war. For Ukraine, the main selling point is affordability and innovation. They have managed to build drones that are far cheaper than traditional missiles, yet still capable of inflicting significant damage. By using drones, Ukraine can strike deep into Russia without needing expensive fighter jets or risking human pilots. For Russia, the unique selling point is volume and psychological warfare. The Shad drones are not the most advanced, but their ability to appear in massive numbers creates fear, uncertainty, and pressure on Ukrainian defenses. Another unique feature is their adaptability. Drones can be modified quickly, upgraded with new software, and deployed again within days. This speed of innovation is unprecedented compared to traditional weapons manufacturing cycles, giving both sides the ability to constantly evolve their tactics. When we consider the price factor, it is staggering to see how cost-effective drones are compared to traditional weaponry. A Shad drone is estimated to cost only around $20,000 to $50,000, which is a fraction of the price of an advanced missile. Ukrainian drones, especially those built domestically or using commercial parts, can cost even less, sometimes just a few $1,000s per unit. On the other hand, intercepting these drones with air defense missiles can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per shot. This imbalance in price creates a huge strategic advantage for the side deploying the drones, as they can force the enemy to spend far more money defending against them than they spent producing them. The economic impact of this is significant, as both Ukraine and Russia are pouring billions into drone production and countermeasures, while at the same time civilian economies suffer from the destruction. In conclusion, the escalation of deadly drone attacks between Ukraine and Russia represents a turning point in modern warfare. The exterior destruction of cities, the interior suffering of civilians, the impressive performance of drones, the lack of safety for innocents, the unique selling points of affordability and volume, and the staggering price imbalances all point to one reality. This conflict has changed the way wars will be fought in the future. Drones are no longer just support weapons, they are frontline tools of destruction capable of reshaping entire regions. For the people living in Ukraine and Russia, the tragedy is immeasurable. Cities burn, families suffer, and uncertainty looms over every day. For the global community, this serves as a warning of what future wars might look like: autonomous machines fighting battles in urban landscapes, where civilians are the ones paying the highest price. As we continue to monitor this developing story, one thing is clear. The drone era of warfare has arrived, and the consequences will shape the world for years to come.